We are live, baby! Hell yeah. After a nice bye week, taking it off. And as always, the comments are delayed, so I'm firing up the Facebook Live right now. A lot of stuff to talk about, and it's going to be crazy at the link on Saturday. I almost said Sunday. On Saturday night, which is crazy. They're blessing us with a extra long tailgate, and I'll tell you how you can get in even earlier. Huge pep rallies tomorrow. All kinds of bars. All the radio stations are at bars. I think on Fridays, WIP is at Borgata. I think Philly Sports Trip, who I'm repping right now, we travel with them. They're going to be at Chickies and Pete's with like 4th and John and a bunch of other people. The Philly Sports Guy, a bunch of stuff. That I think you have to sign up to go. The news is gonna be there. That's gonna be super early, like 5, 6 a.m. But if you're going to the game, let me know in the comments. Like always, like I'm slightly delayed here. But I'll get to it. So don't go nowhere. And let me know if you're going to the game. The tickets are $265 right now on Ticketmaster. People were selling them for $500, $1,000 a pair. They're $265 right now plus the stupid fees. So if you see anybody selling tickets right now, this is when the common man is winning. Right now, you screenshot Ticketmaster and you say, "Hey, bro, if you were to sell these tickets right now on Ticketmaster for $265, you would only net like $200." So that's like basically the face value. The tickets are going for face value. So get your butt in that stadium. It's going to be absolutely electric in there. So the lots for the Eagles-Giants game opens up 1 p.m. But the Philadelphia Wings lacrosse team was supposed to play at 7 at night. They moved the game to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And now you can. It's the Birdman's B-Day, yeah! Johnny be good, happy birthday. So, yeah, the lots don't open until 1, but now the Wings play at 1 p.m. and you can get into the Wells Fargo lot for that at 8 a.m. But you have to buy a Wings ticket or they're not going to let you in. And that. But I think the Wings ticket and parking is cheaper than the $40 Eagles parking. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think. And you can get in the lots at 8 a.m. in the Wells Fargo lot. So once again, like last week, we went a couple weeks ago, you couldn't park in the Wells Fargo because there was a Flyers game and they had reserved parking. So you have to get the tickets to the Wings and park in the Wells Fargo. So if you used to park in the Wells Fargo, you might get screwed again. But be smart. Throw up a couple bucks. Get some cheap Wings tickets. And get in that stadium 8 a.m. I won't be there at 8 a.m. We'll be in the park probably 2 o'clock if I'm a betting man. Leaving South Jersey 1 o'clock. Maybe make a pit stop here or there. So we'll be there. If you're going to the game, message us. Let's party. The Giants put out a memo. The players are not allowed to do a jersey swap and do a jersey trade because they're on the road for all their playoff games, obviously. They're the wild card. And they can't get more white jerseys. So they're not allowed to jersey swap until they lose. So they sent the memo out today. And they already played a game. And they can't get more jerseys. So they're expecting to win because they're telling their players, hey, when we win and we beat the Eagles, do not trade your jerseys with other players, which makes no sense. But so let's end that and let's take their jerseys. Sixers are gas right now. Everyone was telling me, shh, be quiet. Don't wake the Giant yet. We want to get hot at the end. Got to shout them out. Back to Eagles. So the Giants fans are surfacing. They're getting a little bit of pride. They're getting a little bit of confidence because they're playing well. They're playing their best football right now. But it is not a roster that's going to win, or it's not an NFC championship roster, I should say. It is not. They're a nice team. They're a good team. All this, we can't overlook them. Dunphy said it best. Dunphy said, I can overlook whatever I want. I'm not playing in this game. I'm an Eagles fan. We beat them twice. And we're going to beat them again. We're home. This is not a Giants team. The roster's not good enough to be an NFC championship team. You can talk about the Eagles and how they didn't play well down the stretch. They're getting all their guys back. They're rested. They're home. They have the better roster. They have the better team. They've beaten them twice. A lot of people were making a case that it's really hard to beat the same team 3 times. It's happened 18 times, I believe, in the history of the NFL. And the team going for the sweep, the 3-game sweep, is like almost 70% of the time they win. So that, and with the Eagles being better, I fully expect the Eagles to win. The Eagles are going for 10 straight wins against the Giants at the Link. The Giants are undefeated against 1 seeds. So one of those streaks are going to end. You heard it correctly. Giants are undefeated in the divisional round against 1 seeds as a franchise. What does that matter? The past, none of those guys are even on this team right now. But it's a cool stat. Same with the Eagles. The 9 times in a row we beat them. I don't know how many of those players are still on the team. But it's a tough place to play. We've been messing with them. And I fully expect to win. A pretty good weekend of games, wild card weekend. I want to shout out Doug Peterson. That was one of the better games I've ever seen, besides some quality, memorable Eagles games. One of the best non-Eagles games I've ever seen. I predicted it. They were down big, and they got 7 right before the half, and then they got the ball and scored again, and then they were only down 13. So it was like 27-0. Then they did the double whammy, and they're 13. Then it was anybody's game. And man, oh man, I would have fired everybody. I can't believe the Chargers are keeping their coach. But anyway, that game was great. The Niners game was crap. Hopefully the Eagles win, and we can have a nice relaxing Sunday watching, see who we play with the Cowboys and the Niners. The Niners are legit. The Cowboys whipped the Bucs, rightfully so. 8-9 team. Not the greatest Bucs team. Haven't really been gelling. Cowboys had everything to play for. Haven't won a game. Haven't been relevant. Haven't done this or that. And they got it done. I pretty much expected the Cowboys to win. Everybody thought Tom Brady would beat Tom Brady and win, but it's probably going to be Eagles-Dallas at the Link in a couple weeks if I'm a betting man. We are the 1 seed, and, you know, these Giants fans are surfacing. I saw a Giants fan and his group of buddies, they dipped their nuts in blue dye before every game. So that means for 10 straight or 9 straight games that they've watched, road game, Eagle games, these guys have had blue nuts, and they've lost every single time. So, go for 10 straight blue balls of the Giants, and get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think, what your predictions are for the game. It was a great weekend of football. Relaxed. I've been doing my other side hustle, which makes no money, which is trading card breaks. There's a new set of cards coming out tomorrow. So if you want to watch me open some cards and talk a little Eagles, just as I offered prior, I have tons of Eagles cards, flags, stuff from games. So if you're an out-of-area Eagles fan and can't go to games, I have, the salute to service flags, rally towels, stuff that they only give out at games. I will send it to you. So message me, come support on Drip And follow Philthy on Drip, Philthy TCG on all the platforms. So, yeah. So, the Giants tickets. So, the working man, I'm shocked as a Saturday night. They might go up Saturday, I think. I think right now people are panicking. They're like, I don't know. I tried to sell my tickets for $400 and it's not $500. It's not working out. Let me drop it to $4. Let me drop it to $3. Now the tickets are $265. So pick them up now. Don't risk it. I think they're going to get gobbled up. And Saturday night, when people are trying to wait till the last minute to get a deal and they're in the parking lot, them things are going to skyrocket. Get your tickets now. And we won, people. You saw it. The prices are crazy. You guys said, no, you know what? Screw that. I'm not paying that. I'm going to watch on my couch. Stop raising the prices of everything. And you did. And now they're to a number 4 in Eagle. It's still wildly expensive. Wildly expensive. But this is the first home playoff game in 5 years. All right? And so if you divide that $200 by 5 years, what is that? Less than $40. So crack open them piggy banks. Get your tickets. Get in that stadium. Not to mention, you shouldn't need any beer at this game. Do not get drunk and not remember the game. You're going to drink 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m., 2, 3 p.m. Get some coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or some Diet Coke and enjoy the ball game. We need to get this win. We need to get this one. Don't get too pickled. Pace yourselves, people. It's this friggin' marathon, not a sprint. So, it's honestly, it is. Shout out to my friends, I believe. I'm not off the cross yet, but my turn. I switch off every week who drives up to the game. My turn to DD. Happy to do it. Want to watch the game. Want to enjoy the game. Don't want to get pickled. Good food. Have some sodas. Whatever. Ready to go. My problem is I never drive at 2 o'clock in the morning. So if this game 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, goes up overtime, God forbid, I do not like driving 1, 2 o'clock. Sleeping almost there's nothing worse than drunk driving. It's the worst possible thing you do. Tired driving is really, 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 really dangerous. It is really dangerous. So if you live close enough to get your Ubers, get your trains in, tired driving is really dangerous. So I had my work cut out for me, but a couple friends of mine bought, I go with my brother, a couple friends of mine bought 4 tickets. So there's 6 of us now. They are the only ones that have 3-row seated car. So I think one of them is going to drive. So I may have gotten off the hook. I have no idea yet. Either way, happy either way. Doesn't matter to me. But once I figure that out, I had to work lunch today. Big signing big deals. I had a liquid lunch today. I might just go straight through. No. I got to keep it chill. I don't want to have to. Half these Eagles fans are going to have to rewatch the game the next day after spending $300. And that's just stupid. And then it became apparent to me, people on these Eagles threads selling tickets, it became apparent to me that people needed Taylor Swift tickets. My wife actually had a pair and it's not going anymore. And they're not allowing resale. So if you have your Eagles tickets on Ticketmaster, there's a button to transfer it to somebody. And then there's another button that says resell, and it puts it on the secondary marketplaces. And you can set your price and do whatever. Taylor Swift has blacked that out. You cannot resell. You can transfer it to somebody else. So if you want to give me money, I could forward you the tickets directly, person to person. But she blocked the StubHubs. You can't list your tickets for sale, which is awesome. So we followed suit. We gave them to our boy Mike. He's given them to his wife. He's on the floor. for Taylor friggin' Swift in the Eagles Stadium. So shout out to my wife for being cool and not gouging people, and Mike for spending $1,000 to go see Taylor Swift. It's gonna be awesome. So bailed us out. We probably could have sold them for double what we paid, but don't need it. Don't need it. It's going in good hands. You guys are all good people. If you're still looking for stuff to get to the game, message us. There's people. We have a closed group. Shout out to John, Charles, Eric, Steve. We got another gal in there that's not, name's not ringing a bell right now. Mike from Ocean City. They all sold tickets. We posted tickets for them. Everybody got great deals. The sellers, got what they wanted. The buyers saved some money on the fees and all that. And they sent us tips for the page via our Venmo and stuff like that. So if you want to get tickets to the game, get a little more into the X's and O's before I get out of here. But I'm just hype, and I want people to go. We know this Giants team. I'm not dissecting Brock Purdy and what have you. This Giants team, we know. We played them. We blew them out one game. One game, we were kind of vanilla. They got better. They did. We started trending downward, but I think it was kind of by design. You had Gardner Minshew in there for a couple games. If he got you a win, you were lucky. He didn't. We played Hurts when we needed to play him. We got the win. We went. We got it. And how did I get this shirt? It's Philly. Let me see. Philly Sports Trips. You get them every time you travel with them. I don't know if they still have spots left, but they have a private charter going to the Super Bowl. You have to find your own tickets to the game. Most of their trips include hotel tickets, flight, etc., but there's such a wild fluctuation with Super Bowl tickets. They booked a private charter to go to Scottsdale. I don't know if they still have spots. And PhillySportsTrips.com. And if the Eagles don't make the Super Bowl, they cancel the charter, you get your money back. End of story. So if you want to go, just get there, and then, as everybody does now on your phones while you're there that weekend, buck up, borrow against your house, sell the farm, sell the sheep, sell your toys on eBay, get the tickets. This happens only once every. Eagles are great ownership, great franchise since the Andy Reid days. But really, even with that, you're not guaranteed the playoffs every year. You're definitely not guaranteed the 1 seed. 1 seed, last time was Super Bowl year, 5 years ago. Usually it's maybe once a decade if you're lucky. Yeah, E-Rock travels with them. Yeah, he's awesome. We met him in Arizona, and then we met him before that in passing, but really been talking with him a lot back and forth because sometimes he sits right near us at the link. And the owner of the company, his name is Vince, and tell him that we sent you. Definitely want to be more active with him and travel more with him. But I'm having a baby boy, so I don't know how possible that will be. But I'm not having a baby boy. My wife is. But Dave, you're going to the game, right, man? Let's link up. So that's that. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, they do their tailgates at the Navy Yard. Full food, full spread for the home games, and full away trip needs. there, and they're going to be at Chickies and Pete's tomorrow. But I think you had to RSVP by now to go. Oh, you're going next week? Yes, sir. Next week, yeah. Yeah, people are saying don't overlook. Yeah, the Eagles team, in my opinion, is an NFC Championship caliber roster. We didn't draw like a Dallas or something in the first round where you had the threat of getting bounced. I'm not overlooking this team, but what you got lucky. This Giants team is a nice team. They won one playoff game. They're ahead of schedule in their build. First-year coach. Regardless of what the Eagles have been doing, love the Giants. Don't love the Giants. Hate the Giants. But nice team, nice people, terrible people. They're not going to win 2 playoff games this year. Like, plain and simple. They're not. And that's a fact. Maybe that's why this ticket prices started to drop. Wear your suit, business trip, seal up business. Next week I'll be worried. 49ers, phenomenal team. Dallas is getting... I'm not making that 17-hour trip for nothing. Let's go. Yeah. Dallas is getting hot at the right time. They have flaws, though. They don't have... I think their line is banged up. They're nicked up a little bit. They really only have one guy in CeeDee Lamb. I think that scares me. They need a few more pieces, and that was the difference between us and them winning the division. Looking at it objectively, not that Dallas just plain old simply sucks. We expedited our rebuild so quickly. We made the playoffs last year. We got a boatload of talent in. The Giants are where we were last year. They got to win. They got a better matchup than we did. We had to play Tom Brady when he was good, and when the team was good, that was a 13-14 win. Bucs team when we played them. Go Birds, David. We got a terrible matchup. The Minnesota Vikings had the worst defense in the playoffs. Jonathan! The Minnesota Vikings had the worst defense in the playoffs. Plain and simple. You made Daniel Jones look like the second coming of, I don't know, Steve Young. He was moving the ball, running the ball, read option, throwing it. They were throwing on early downs, getting short distance in the later downs. They came out and they were like, we're going to sling it, which they haven't done all year. They were like, this pass defense is not good. We're going to press these guys, and we're going to get into the way we beat this Minnesota Vikings team is we're going to open this thing up. We're not going to run the ball, play our tough defense, but we're going to lose because Justin Jefferson's going to make a couple plays, and we're going to lose. I think Dable, the team is well coached, and they had the right game plan, and they're playing above where they should be at this point in time. And they've had a nice year, but it's going to come to an end this week. And then, what else? Andy Reid and the Jags, probably Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. Almost could have gotten with Lamar Jackson against the Bengals. The Bengals would have been bounced. They made the Super Bowl last year. Nice team. Bills, Chiefs, probably Eagles, Cowboys if I'm a betting man. Brock Purdy, nice guy, nice player. Mr. Irrelevant, not getting to the NFC Championship. He's not. Dak, stop turning the ball over. He's playing against the best defense in the league. And if he even holds it to one turnover, the Cowboys win that game. Cowboys can move the ball. They can get Pollard the ball in space. CeeDee Lamb has been great. I'm giving them all their kudos now because I'm going to rip them next week. But, yeah, And that's what they want. That's what the NFL wants. There is a clause in the contract. It's that they could basically, not to get a conspiracy theory going here, but there is a clause in the NFL's rules and guidelines and TV contracts that it is for entertainment. And I think there was the Christmas Eve game and the Cowboys in general, some of the highest watched games during the regular season. That game would be monstrous in the Northeast. Not only in the Northeast, but in the world. I'm not even going to say the country, in the world. People will be up in different time zones watching that game, streaming the game. The Eagles-Cowboys NFC Championship game. I hope I'm doing this next week, because this could be the last time. We've done every week besides this bye week. We've done every week in the podcast, so the podcast could come to an end. This could be it. So next season, we're going to revamp the production, hopefully get a couple sponsors in to cover some of the costs so I can get better gear in here, and they're going to get next level promotion, not only during the lives, but during our regular posts every day. So that's what we're gonna do, and let's look at this prediction for this game. Let's look at what the over under is. Let's look at over under Eagles Giants. That 48 points. So they're expecting unless the Giants don't hold up their end of the stick, this game is going over. I'll tell you why. I think the Eagles put up 30 points. And I think the Giants put up in the neighborhood of 20 points. So 31-20 Eagles. They cover 7.5. It's over 48 points. If you're a money line guy, Giants plus $200-something. It's juicy, and the Giants plus 7.5. I think everyone's going to be taking that. They're going to take the touchdown. They're going to take the points. They're going to think it's going to be a close NFC East game. Nah, you got everybody back. You got Lane back. You got Goddard with a couple games under his belt. Maddox was at practice. I don't think he's going to go, but he'll be. If we win, we will win. He's going to play next week. So you can have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back. They haven't been able to play the defense they've wanted to play, the Eagles. They haven't been able to run any press coverage because they haven't had help in the back end. You don't want guys like Josiah Scott on an island. So people roasting Gannon. He's been limited of what he could call the past few weeks. And he's done a decent job. After that first opening drive of the Saints, he pretty much held them in check. The Cowboys game was a shootout. That was rough. We had a lot of injuries going in that game. And last week, I thought the Eagles defense was great. Until the end, he started playing that soft stuff. But that was by design to chew clock. We made enough plays to end the game. The difference between that game and I watched that Chargers-Jags game is we took our foot off the gas, but we had enough going that we could win the game. The Giants had their backup in, et cetera, et cetera. I think the Eagles learned their lesson. They learned a lesson from that Giants game. They learned their lesson from watching the other playoff games this weekend while eating Pizza Hut. They're not going to pull that crap. They're going to keep their foot on the gas. That's why I think they're going to score close to 30, over 30 points. I think they're going to try and get points on every drive. I think the defense is going to hold up a little bit, maybe give up 10 points at the end, maybe a couple of points early when the Giants come out on their first 15-play scripted drive. Other than that, I think the defense makes plays this week. A couple turnovers. I think in the Tennessee game is the closest thing I can compare, and the first time we played the Giants is the closest thing I can compare to this Giants team where when we played the Titans, Tannehill got a bunch of first downs with his legs, but we ended up getting up on him to the point we took that away. They had to throw, and the game, we put the game out of reach. I think you get that. I think Danny's going to run with his legs early. It's going to be close early. And the Eagles pull away comfortably. And the Giants get knocked off their game plan. And that's where the Eagles could hang with anybody. Because we can run the ball. We could chew the clock. We could pass the ball. We could put up points. We could beat you in a number of ways where I think the Giants are going to have their game plan. And everyone makes this big stink about halftime adjustments and stuff like that. These guys got tablets and Surface Books and all kinds of technology. Drive by drive, they're making adjustments. So once we figure out what they're trying to do to us, there's going to be a little chess going early. Talent just takes over at that point, and the Eagles roster is simply just way better. And I hope to see you all next week, 100%. And if you missed any of this, go follow us on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Message us if you're going to the game. And we really appreciate it. And grab your It's a Philly Thing shirt that's on our page. Go grab that. Adios.